Greg Biffle got feedback from his team after that last round of green flag pit stops that a lot of cars were tight. Biffle's comments after that incident, I guess those guys aren't as tight as they thought they were. Those cars got loose, boys.
Yeah, sometimes, though, Dave, you can have a lot of wheel in the car from being tight, and that back end will just jump out from under you. So, you know, it's hard to say whether the car was actually tight or loose. The end result is the back end flies out from under it.
Yeah. And that's what it looks like from the driver's standpoint. But, you know, it could have been up there. We talk about the bumps on this racetrack. You get up high in the middle of 1 and 2, and there are bumps there. If your car happens to be tight, you've got a lot of wheel in it, and it hits that, then it makes it seem like it's that, because you've got that wheel in the frontal grip all of a sudden, and your back can't keep up with it.
It's going to be an opportunity for a lot of these guys to start working on their cars and adjusting on them and get them all back together again. So you see all of them ready to go, and I bet you're going to see some wrenches turning in these cars.
This is the first caution flag of the day. Remember, their first pit stops were under green on lap 37. We are now on lap 55.
There's a wrench. See the gas man, he's ready to make an adjustment.
Yeah, these guys are ready.
There's
now
the spring rubber.
Yeah, they're getting ready to do these adjustments. Now they have time to make those changes that the driver's been hollering as to why they couldn't do that. And obviously they couldn't under the green flag pit stops that they made. But we're going to see some time. These aren't going to be, everybody's not going to be making a 15-second pit stop right here. We're probably going to see, 30 and 45-second pit stops to make these adjustments.
Cars being picked up over on the track, whereas the leaders coming out of turn 4 have wound it down to 55 miles an hour as they head down for their first pit stop under caution. Shannon Spake.
Kyle Busch, who won here in July, battling tight off conditions. They're going to do 4 tires and an adjustment. Now let's go to Mike with the Castrol GTX triple pit.
Tony Stewart has been tight from center off as well. Last time down pit road, they raised the track bar 2 rounds. They'll go to work on the chassis once again and an air pressure adjustment. Jamie?
And a shout out to Brian Vickers, who's gone 11th and 2nd. They're making a track bar adjustment. 4 tires is a little tight off. Dave?
Martin Truex's car was so loose, he was afraid that if he got back in traffic, he wouldn't be able to control it. So they made a chassis adjustment and air pressure adjustment to try to make that car turn a little less well.
Kyle Busch gains a spot off of pit road. David Rudiman's a bunch. The Michael Waltrip Racing Team gained 3 spots. Casey came back a couple. And problems on the 1 car of Johnny Sauter as he noses it in, and now the hood goes up. So trouble for the James Finch operation as Sauter is going to be on pit road for a lengthy period of time. Under caution here at Daytona, back in just a moment. Back at Daytona International Speedway, Camping World 300, as we are 3 laps away from halfway. Working caution for the first time this afternoon. Pretty hard crash over in turn 2 involving the cars of Mark Green and David Gilliland. Both drivers are okay. Pace car pulls away, and this great crowd on their feet as Martin Truex Jr. will lead them down to the green flag once again. Caught a glimpse a moment ago, Johnny Sauter back on the racetrack, but he's a sitting duck now as the field comes by him at full speed. He's trying to get up to speed.
Those guys were trying to fix the car from the earlier little bang-up they had in the pits, trying to fix the toe in, and they ended up losing a lap here on this restart.
Look at this scramble down the back straightaway, 3 wide. They were going to think about going 4 wide a moment ago.
Yeah, this is it right here. They got the good tires. Everything feels good. You'll see these guys dicing right here.
Yeah, this is what this racing's all about right now. As we see them getting 4 wide, and yeah, they made it through. That looks a lot worse when up here than it does in the driver's seat sometimes. But it's amazing, the racing and how much confidence these guys have in these cars just to put them wherever they need to.
Ryan Vickers just became the 8th different leader today. Vickers, the former Nationwide Series champion in the 10-car, led his first lap here, but now Truex retakes the lead on that high line.
Yeah, we've got different agendas. Guys wanting to lead the race, and then we've got Kevin Harvick up there trying to be to get himself in the position, the first guy a lap down, or even get his lap back on the racetrack, whichever he can do. So he is trying to do that. We see his car, the 5th car, up on the outside, the blue Camping World car. So,
yeah, he's the first car 1 lap down right now, and if he'll stay in this group with these guys, he can maintain that spot. If they have a caution, he'll get that lap back.
Yeah, he's really not concerned of getting himself into the front right now. He just wants to stay solid right there, and then if we should have another caution, he could get that lap back.
Hoping for the caution and hoping he's not the caution.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're in that position and what you ask for.
Well, this is the best place to be for Kevin Harvick, right up front with these guys. That seems to be the calmest area right now, is up in the lead group.
Got to be frustrating, DJ, when you know you got such a good race car and you're yet a lap down. You can run with these guys. You just need a chance to get back with them.
Yeah, it is frustrating, but Kevin's a veteran that understands these things happen, and all he can do right now is just put himself in that position, and again, hope that a caution comes along the way and it's not him. As we see David Rudeman right on the back of him. Yeah, David enjoys this type of racing. Last year was really his first time in doing restrictor plate racing, but has a really good feel for his car. And we see he's got his Toyota up there on the high line, up into the top 10.
Jamie Little.
Well, you guys were talking about Kevin Harvick. What happened when he came in on that first pit stop? He has a brand new gas man. He was gassing it for the first time, didn't get any fuel, and he didn't have it in far enough. So when Kevin came back around to get the fuel, they put 4 tires on. He had a serious vibration. They brought it in again, changed the tires again, and they think they got it right, guys.
Oh, costly mistake, cost them a lap. But you know what? Kevin Harvick's got a good car. He's just going to possibly get that lap back and still be in the fray. By the way, good news, both Mark Green and David Gilliland checked out and released from the infield care center after that hard lick a moment ago that brought out the first caution flag of the day.
That is good news. It just shows you how safe these cars are today, and you take a lick like that, just walk away from it.
Speaking of Mark Green, Shannon has caught up with him.
That's right. Certainly has been a rough week for you, involved in the wreck in practice earlier this week, and now this. What happened?
Well, it's, I don't understand the thing in practice. I don't understand that at all. And then we were just lined up, about 5 of us there, just running as fast as a leader, just, making sure we don't happen what happened. And the 16 car got down in there into 1, and I don't know what the deal was, but he jacked the 14 up a little right in the middle of the corner, and the 14 wiggled. And so, I think, okay, I got to go to the bottom, but I can't let off. And I thought he was okay. I thought he saved it, but evidently he didn't, and come down and got me. But, I just don't understand why people are running into each other in the middle of the corner, and NASCAR tells you not to. So, we're a very small race team, and we've actually ruined 2 race cars because of people not doing what they're supposed to do. So hopefully somebody can look at it and maybe get some corrections made. Just unhappy about the whole situation.
All right, Doc, you can definitely hear the disappointment in his voice.
Sounded like he was trying to be politically correct right there, but he's not very happy losing 2 cars. That team can't hardly afford it.
Yeah, Mary Louise Miller wants to run a lot of races, but they only had really 2 cars. They lost them both here at Daytona. That's going to really hurt them here as they head to California and Las Vegas.
Now, this is the type of racing we were expecting to see. Now everybody's got their cars adjusted a little bit. We see our pole sitter, Tony Stewart, coming back to the front. He had dropped back quite a ways, but they've made some adjustments on that car. He was fighting a tight condition, and he's getting a push and headed to the front once again.
We're going to see 2 styles of racing. On good tires, we're going to see these cars running 2 and 3 wide, just like we see here. And then as the tires wear down, you're going to see it become a handling race, and these cars start moving up to the top of the racetrack, up against the wall, searching for grooves, just like we see at other racetracks.
Clint Boyer on the bottom here, bottom of the racetrack. He's got a good view of Kyle Busch in the 18, the 8 of Truex, the 20 of Tony Stewart. They are 1st, 2nd, and 4th. He is 3rd, and he's trying to pull that bottom line with a little drafting help there from the 32 of Denny Hamlin.
Now, these guys know that the handling's going to go away somewhat on these cars, so while they've got fresh rubber and their cars are handling, they're trying to make as much time up as they possibly can, get themselves in that position to where when this thing gets strung out again, then they're in a better spot.
Now, these guys are searching for anything to make their car handle better. You see the 5 car right here, Dale Jr. He made some ground early, up against the wall, and he kind of stalled out like he was having a little problem with his car. They made a pit stop earlier and tried to adjust some things, and they made a kind of a unique adjustment we saw. You see the tire changer. He's taking this tire off the rear. This is the left rear. They got a chain there that holds that rear end up, so when they jack the car up, the wheel comes up real quick. It's always a balance of how quick you have that tire coming up. And, the racetrack has a lot of bumps in it. So if you have that thing too short, it'll actually kind of pick that wheel up off the ground. And maybe that's what Dale Jr. was feeling. These guys cut that chain just in case. It might hurt their pit stops a little bit, but it'll make the car drive better if that's the case, that it was picking that wheel up.
5-car Earnhardt Jr. being shown back in 17th position. Behind the 7 car, Mike Wallace, the 22 of Mike Bliss.